This Shabbat has a name. It's called Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision. And it derives its name from the opening verses of this week's reading of the prophets, the opening verses of the book of Yeshayahu of Isaiah. Yeshayahu turns to the Jewish people long before the destruction of the temple. And he pleads with them. He tells them that the Jewish people have lost their way and that the temple as it stood would be destroyed. He calls on the Jewish people to look beyond the predicament and the present moment and to realize that what they had was not what was going to be. Their temple was going to be taken from them. And so we always read this section of the prophets, the book of Isaiah, the opening verses foretelling the destruction on the Shabbat that precedes the saddest day in our Jewish calendar year, the date of Tisha B'Av, where we commemorate the loss of our temple. So Shabbat Chazon would then mean a Shabbat in which we have the vision of destruction. But Reb Levi Yitzchok of Barditchev, one of the Hasidic Rebbes, gives an additional insight into the Shabbat of vision. Now, every Shabbat comes along amidst the week, and even if the week is filled with difficult challenges and problems and is a somber week, Shabbat always comes with a light that changes the energy. Even, God forbid, if a person happened to be in Avelut, in mourning, on the day of Shabbat, mourning is suspended. Shabbat pierces through the darkness and brings light even into the difficult situations of life. But this Shabbat, much more so, because the days surrounding this Shabbat, the 9 days leading up to Tisha B'Av, we do not drink wine, we do not eat meat. We are in the most serious part of remembering the loss and mourning. And Shabbat comes along in this darkest period of the whole year, and all of it suspended. It's Shabbat. This Shabbat, more than ever, shows us how we can emerge from darkness and transcend it and have a glimpse of what the world will be when the world will be surrounded by Shabbos, when Mashiach will come and redeem this world. So Reb Levi Yitzchok of Barditchev says this Shabbat is Shabbat Chazon, not only because of its simple meaning, the vision of destruction. This Shabbat gives us a glimpse and a vision of the hope of tomorrow, of thinking about redemption when the temple will be rebuilt and restored. We look at the world with eyes that have the hope and aspiration of a better tomorrow. Shabbat Chazon, in the darkest period of the Jewish calendar year, is an island that is filled with joy and the happiness of Shabbat, reminding us to pull ourselves away from the darkest moments and difficult challenges of our lives and to always have the hope and the aspiration of redemption, which is our belief every single day. May Hashem bring Mashiach and the redemption of the world so that even this Tisha B'Av will be transformed into a day of Yontef, of joy, of happiness. May our world be redeemed. May each of us in our own lives find redemption. May this Shabbat be a Shabbat of vision, the vision of hope.